Coming up, what education leaders are pointing to for a major drop in student test scores. You'll have some new entertainment options in Fargo. We'll take you to the groundbreaking. Plus, after 2 months of meetings, why lawmakers still can't figure out which professions should receive a COVID bonus check. Valley News Live at 10 starts right now.
This is Valley News Live at 10.
Good evening, everyone. We're going to head straight to the forecast tonight, where our storm team wants to draw your attention to a first alert weather day both tomorrow and Saturday. Here's Hutch with the latest. Hutch.
Stacey, thanks so much indeed. As we get you started on this Thursday night and close out the weekend, there are changes coming. Now, we're going to get through most of Friday just fine in many areas, but a few storms could be on the strong side. Right now, we're watching for a few raindrops to make their way into the Devil's Lake Basin here. As we speak, that is occurring. But for Friday and Saturday, again, first alert weather days. So we've extended it into Saturday, and here's why. Friday, the changes begin. A few spotty thunderstorms, a few of which could be severe, are in the forecast. They're not going to be widespread, and not everywhere is going to get it. I'll have hour-by-hour details here in a minute. Saturday, though, you can anticipate more widespread areas of heavy rain and thunderstorm activity. That doesn't mean there's a better chance of severe weather, though. It just means still a chance for a few of them to be severe. So why are they first alert weather days? Big time changes are in the offing. Now, here's the area on Friday we are concerned about in the dark green. It's a marginal risk, 1 on a 5-level scale, so it's a low risk of severe weather. Hail, gusty, straight line winds, the main threat. Cannot rule out an isolated tornado. Saturday afternoon storms in the forecast as well. I'll time everything out. We'll have the track for you. All of that here in just a few more moments.
All right. Thanks, Hutch. A major new development broke ground off 45th Street South in Fargo today. Epic Companies is building 7 structures, including a water park and a sports complex. Valley News Live's Aaron Walling breaks down the project and tells us how soon we can get in on the fun.
Well, it's been so exciting with so many of our projects. I feel like this week has just been a lot of exciting things.
People voiced their opinion and someone listened. On Thursday, Epic Companies broke ground on their multi-building project, bringing in 7 new structures off of 45th Street South. In a survey, more than 6,000 residents expressed that they wanted more entertainment options in the area, like a water park.
And being able to provide those people with something that they drive to come do or they want to see and want to do, it's just a really great feeling.
Epic Companies is calling this project Mocked. It is slated to open in summer 2023, but it could take even longer to be fully operational.
Phase 1 just started today, so we're in fall 2021 here. That'll go into about summer 2023 with the apartments and condos. And then to get the whole development up and running, we are looking at a longer term project to that 2025 term.
The 7 buildings, according to Mackenzie Broughton, the Vice President of Marketing and Public Relations, will represent the 7 rays of light in the Scandinavian heritage. Looking back on the process, Broughton says a lot of hard work went into it.
It means a lot to me, but I think it means a lot to our team and Epic as a whole. And, we're just continually looking for providing something different for people that they walk out and they say, wow, or they say, that experience was amazing. I can't wait to go back.
In Fargo, Aaron Walling, Valley News Live.
For even more information on the project, head to valleynewslive.com and click on this story. New tonight at 10. Tomorrow morning, the Grand Forks man found guilty of murdering his mother, and Grand Forks police officer Cody Hulte will be sentenced. In July, a jury found Solomon Pendleton guilty of 7 of the 9 charges against him. He could be facing life in prison without the possibility of parole. Meanwhile, charges have been revised for the man accused of murdering a police officer in northern Minnesota. A federal grand jury has indicted David Donnell Jr. on 11 counts, including first-degree murder. He had previously been charged with a lesser murder count in connection with the killing of Red Lake Tribal Officer Ryan Bielke back in July. According to court documents, 5 Red Lake Tribal police officers were called to Donnell's residence because he was reported to be suicidal. Documents say Bielke was shot through the front door and died at the scene. He was 37 years old. Also new tonight, some sad news to report. The student who was involved in a shooting at Hettinger Public School has died. The Adams County Sheriff's Office confirmed to us that it was from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Counseling still available for students and families in the district. A man says a police standoff that led to a shelter-in-place in North Fargo earlier this week was all just his wife trying to get back at him. Now tonight, his wife says that's not the case. Fargo police say a man shot a gun inside a home Tuesday night with a woman and child inside. Well, the man has told us that's not true. His wife says it's close. She says her husband fired shots outside the home while her son's girlfriend was there. She said she returned from a trip when she found her husband had broken into her house.
He must have been over here because it was like boom, boom in the front. And I was like, I screamed. And the girls get downstairs. I come this way, go through the living room, shot again. Come over here in the dining room, shot again. And I was like, I have never been scared of anybody like this in my life.
Fargo police are still investigating. A former Moorhead bus driver is speaking out tonight after quitting her job, saying she's fed up with disrespectful students. Rita Thompson drove Moorhead students to and from school for 13 years, but this week she's had enough. She says she's tired of the school district not sticking up for its drivers.
So I shut my bus off, took the keys out, took it over to that bus and handed my keys to the director of transportation and told him to drive them home. I'm done. And I walked away.
In response to our many questions regarding Thompson's situation as well as the other drivers, the district would only say staffing is a constant focus for their transportation team. If you have a tip that you want to share with us, you can call or now text our whistleblower hotline. That number 701-369-3187. A member of our investigative team will get on the case. North Dakota leaders in education say the effects from COVID will be historic and studied for years. But what's also historic is the decline in test scores based on the yearly state assessment. The share of students who ranked in the lowest tier in English grew from 26% to more than 30%. For math, it was 24% to 28%. Proficiency overall dropped 5% in English and 7% in math, meaning an additional 1 out of every 20 students is no longer proficient in these topics.
People's lives have been disrupted, and there's chaos in our world right now. And when there's chaos, learning isn't as easily accomplished.
Baszler says critics shouldn't point their fingers at distance learning because teachers underwent training for that emergency learning model. Rather, she says the cause and the drop should be turned to the uncertain environment students were in as a distraction. It won't be until at least next month before your 5 to 11-year-old could be vaccinated against COVID. Today, Pfizer submitted its request to the FDA for emergency use of its vaccine in children. But the process will take some time. If approved, it'll be November before those vaccines are rolled out. An FDA advisory panel is expected to meet October 26th to discuss Pfizer's data. Lawmakers in Minnesota are negotiating a bonus package for essential workers in the state. John Croman tells us what might be in it for you.
Last summer, lawmakers set aside $250 million COVID federal relief money to pay bonuses to essential workers. A working group, 3 Democrats, 3 Republicans, met on and off for 2 months to decide who gets the bonuses and how much the check should be. They were supposed to come back and pass that plan in September in a special session, but there's no deal yet.
It would be a sign that you acknowledge us, that you acknowledge the sacrifice that we did and continue to do.
Republicans want to cover healthcare workers, nursing home workers, emergency responders at $1,200 a pop. Democrats want a much longer list that includes school workers, food service, food production, retail, shelters, janitors, transit, airport workers, and more at $375 a check.
The workers are saying, make the pool larger.
Now, just a few days ago, Senate Republicans stood in the same room here at the state capitol to explain why they want to limit the numbers and types of people who should get those COVID bonuses.
There's only $250 million. We don't have $2 billion. So with the $250 million, this is the proposal that we've put forth.
The disagreement over who should get a COVID bonus check is not the only issue that's holding up this special session. Now there's a chance that Senate Republicans will try to use it as an opportunity to fire Health Commissioner Jan Malcolm.
At a medical freedom rally last month, Anoka Republican Jim Abler said Malcolm should get the axe for not doing enough to warn people about the dangers of vaccines. Malcolm today could be found in Maplewood helping to highlight COVID testing efforts inside school buildings.
And we're still receiving calls from some DirecTV customers who are having a reception problem with the Channel 11 signal. DirecTV continues to tell us their equipment is not properly picking up our signal. We're working with them to get the issue fixed. Still ahead tonight, a look at how the government is warning about some fertility products and just how harmful they could be.
And temperatures on your Thursday afternoon hit the 80s once again in the Northern Valley. A lot of 70s out there. But is the heat riding off into the sunset? Maybe so. This photo was shared today. Thanks so much, Stevie. We'll have your hour-by-hour forecast on 2 First Alert weather days next.